What up, it's your girl Najee. Everybody hates K, but everything golden. And you're listening to T7M Radio.
So I want to go ahead and bring on our special guest from the night. From the Charlotte Bats, he got a major push trying to bring Major League Baseball into Charlotte. About to bring on a special guest, Rick Curti, on the line.
Hi, how are you guys? How's everything?
Man, appreciate you. Doing good. Appreciate you calling up, man.
Thank you.
Just a little backstory, Rick, off the top. For you, when did this venture and this vision kind of come into play, when it comes to, Major League Baseball coming to Charlotte?
Well, I've been in Charlotte for about 10 years. I'm originally from Los Angeles. And when I first moved here, it was just something that I was kind of curious about. And when I would ask people, they would kind of say, oh, we can't support it. We got this, we got that. But it really started growing for me probably about 4.5 years ago when I saw so much growth coming to the city and all the jobs. And, we're the second largest banking community next to New York. And I thought, man, this city's got the money. They got a pro football team. They got a pro basketball team. And we have all these transplants coming from all over. And, man, if Charlotte just had a Major League Baseball team, it would bring, like, billions of dollars to the city. So I always wondered why the city never had a team. So it's just something that I just looked into, and it just became sort of like a determination that say, you know what, this city needs a Major League Baseball team.
And one of the things, and I guess that's what kind of confuses me, and I agree with you 100%, because on one side you hear the argument about, the economic side, but like you said, bringing a Major League Baseball to the city of Charlotte, it generates nothing but jobs and opportunities, which would bring in revenue. So it kind of confuses me on, the reason not to bring, Major League Baseball to the city, when in all actuality, it kind of helps the bottom line.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, last summer, Commissioner Manfred put out a short list, and on that list was Charlotte, and it was the front runner is Montreal, and he's very adamant about expansion and about Montreal getting a team. But he came out with other cities, and Portland and Montreal were on the list, followed by Las Vegas, San Antonio, New Jersey. So, I mean, even the commissioner said that, Charlotte is a great market. It's the second largest media market without Major League Baseball. It's also the second largest city without Major League Baseball. It's one of the largest metro cities without a Major League Baseball team. So it's there, and with the city support and the people support, and we have a minor league team called the Knights, and they have the #1 attendance in all of minor league baseball right now. They're averaging close to 9,000 people in their games. So I mean, people want to see it, and I think that it will happen eventually. It's just when will it happen?
This is the Best of 7 Sports Talk Radio with 7 Mitchell callers. Y'all call up 347-989-8102. We got Rick Curti from the Charlotte Bats on the line. Rick, speaking of the people, the social media buzz, the push, the support that you have gotten, kind of talk to my listeners about, the support that you've gotten from the community for this venture. Are you surprised at how big and how fast the support seems to be growing?
I am a little bit, because I started it. So I'm just this normal, regular guy. So I just figured, I just started it just out of curiosity and to see what people thought of it. And, man, this past year it has grown so much. And then one of our local news markets called us and wanted to do an interview, not only about what I was doing, but about Charlotte supporting the Major League Baseball team. And so it was really, really exciting to hear from the media and to realize that, wow, maybe I have something going. I'm not crazy after all. So
now, I know you've reached out to city council and, the mayor. I know that you're patiently waiting. But, I brought it up before. It seems like a catch-22. Like, what are the reactions and the responses that you have been getting from the up above when it comes to, your venture? trying to bring the.
Well, they're very excited. I mean, they do want to see a Major League Baseball team. They also want to see a Major League Soccer team. They see so much growth going on here. You know, unfortunately, right now our state is going through a controversy with a bill, and that was one of the reasons why we had our NBA All-Star game taken away from us. And I know right now they're kind of focusing on trying to get some kind of compromise with it, but hopefully in 2019 we'll get our All-Star game back. So right now it's kind of like stalled right now because they're trying to resolve this bill that's been going on, you know, that a lot of people have known about, and it's a frustrating thing, but sometimes, you know, you have to go through these things, and I just think when it's all resolved that it's just going to make our city better and stronger. There is a lot of baseball out here, but the great thing about Charlotte is that there really is no competition for a baseball team. The Atlanta Braves, and they're like 4.5, 5 hours away from us, and so that would be our only competition. And then Washington D.C. is probably about 7 hours away. So those two markets probably the closest competition, but I don't see anybody wanting to drive that far unless you're like a very, very diehard fan. So Charlotte is the right market for a team. Like I say, we are just growing like crazy in the past couple of years, and we're one of the fastest growing cities. And I think with us supporting an NFL team, and we got Cam the Man Newton and the Panthers, and we got, you know, the Hornets owned by a man named Michael Jordan. And so we have these big names here in our state, in our city, so I think that's what's going to help us with our push.
You know, I know it's not like the 70s, you know, when, you know, a lot of, you know, minorities considered the game maybe the number one sport in America. What would you do to better the situation and probably, you know, help the game grow, particularly for Charlotte?
Well, baseball has lost a lot of minority support. I totally agree. I think for African Americans, it's down like 25%, which is ginormous. When I was growing up, I'm 40, and I used to see players like Kirby Puckett, Frank Thomas, Ken Griffey Jr. Those were my favorites to watch. Eric Davis, and now you see it mostly populated by Latino, Dominican, or even Caucasian, and yet you don't see a lot of African Americans in the game anymore. And I think what Major League Baseball has done, in my opinion, that they've messed up on, is that they're not going enough to the inner cities. They used to do that, but for some reason they stopped. And now the NBA and the NFL have done a terrific job doing that, because now kids growing up today, they don't want to be the next Ken Griffey Jr. or Mike Trout or whatever. They want to be the next LeBron James. They want to be the next Cam Newton. And I think Major League Baseball has done a poor job in doing that. I know the commissioner right now has started some type of effort to go back to the community. I know Bud Selig was something that they wanted to focus on. So I think with time and with the new commissioner, I think they'll go back to that. But I agree, they really have messed up going to more of the inner cities.
Now, Rick, let me ask you on the business end, with the success of the Carolina Panthers and the reemergence of the Charlotte Hornets, does that hurt, the chances of bringing an expansion baseball team, since the buzz from the city has been, in the other sports, it seems like? Does that hurt, even though the more success you would think it would bring more money into the city, but when it comes down to it, the competition, you want your team to be successful, you want people to be attracted to it. Does the success of the Panthers and like I said, the reemergence of the Hornets, could that possibly hurt the chances of a baseball team coming to Charlotte, in your opinion?
I think it's helped it tremendously, especially with the success of the Panthers last season going to the Super Bowl. I think it brought so much attention to the city of Charlotte, because when you mention Charlotte, a lot of people don't really know much about it. They'll think of Atlanta, and Charlotte has really been growing so much that's been kind of like a hidden jewel for quite some time. We're one of the largest banking communities, and so we have so many people moving here. It's one of the most affordable cities to live in. And I think it's helped tremendously that we have a pro football team and a pro basketball team. It shows people that, wow, Charlotte can support professional baseball, because a lot of people just stereotype us with NASCAR, that we all love NASCAR, that we all love college basketball, and we do, but we have so many transplants out here, especially from New York. They want to see their Yankees. I'm a Dodger fan, grew up in Los Angeles. I want to see my Dodgers. So I think with the success of the Panthers, and we're having Cam Newton there as the face of it, and then having Michael Jordan from North Carolina and being the owner of the Hornets, I think it's brought so much credibility that Charlotte is a great sports, great pro town, and that we can support professional sports.
As far as social media and support from the communities and outside abroad, where can people go at to show support for the Charlotte Bats movement?
Sure. We have we're on Facebook. We have a page called Let's Bring Major League Baseball to Charlotte. It's over 15,000 likes and counting right now. We have a petition on there, and you can hear our theme song. We're on Twitter at Charlotte Bats Baseball. And we have an email address at charlottebatsbaseball@gmail. And people can contact me on there. They can ask me any questions they want. I'm on there every day, and I always answer people, whatever it is. Either we love it or we don't think you can support it. We respect everyone's opinion. And, if you have if you want to get involved, you can just reach us.
That's fantastic, man. I appreciate you, Rick, calling up here to the Best of 7. Real quick before I let you go, just give me the little story on how you came up with the name Bats, because it all goes together so perfectly. But how did that actually come about? The name Charlotte Bats for your team.
Well, we have a minor league team here. We have a lot of minor league teams here. We have one in Greensboro right now, and they're called the Grasshoppers. But before that, from 1994 to 2004, they were called the Greensboro Bats. And so with that name not being used anymore, and it has ties to North Carolina, and the colors we chose are the colors of the city of Charlotte, we just thought that would be a good tie. And I think that name represents North Carolina, and also kind of play on words with baseball bats. So I just felt that it ties really well together. And we have a lot of bats that fly out here in the city. I see them all the time. We actually had one fly in my church one time. And, people looked at me like I did it, and I'm like, no, this wasn't me. I'm afraid of bats. I love the name, but I don't want to be near them. But, so we just felt that name tied really well together with Charlotte, and kind of wanted to get away from the whole NASCAR, the whole flying scene. We kind of wanted to go out of the box a little bit and also represent the great state of North Carolina.
That's awesome, man. Rick Curti from the Charlotte Bats. Rick, man, I sincerely, once again, appreciate you taking time to call up, man. Any final thoughts, anything else you would like to let my listeners know before we go ahead and go on to the next episode?
I just want to thank the people for all their support. We've had people from pretty much all over the place, not just North Carolina, South Carolina, all over the world that have supported us, and we just want to say thank you for them. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be doing this, because I just thought it'd be a couple friends of mine that thought what I was doing was pretty cool, and it has grown so much, and now the media is really taking a wind of it, and we're just very, very proud to be doing this. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for giving me the opportunity.